Now, all is not well in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, as we speak. This morning, some members of the People's Democratic Party in the state barricaded all entrances leading into the INEC office in the state capital. Their grounds being that the electoral umpire must present certified true copies of the governorship election results to all political parties. The party's governorship candidate, who walked meters with his security detail to access the INEC office in Port Harcourt, was vehemently rebuffed by the crowd of PDP supporters who pelted him with bottles of water and sachets. He was forced to beat a hasty retreat before being manhandled. There was also a shooting by security operatives to stave away the already tempered crowd. We're now being joined by the Rivers APC governorship candidate Tonye from Port Harcourt, the state capital. Good afternoon, Mr. Tonye. Thank you for joining us in spite of the circumstances. Can you please update us on what's been happening?
Thank you, Cynthia. Today I've never been as ashamed as I am of Rivers State as I saw today. We had already made it very clear that we were going to INEC today to collect our CTC documents. Now, as early as 6:30 this morning, we had been told that PDP had mobilized thugs outside to prevent us from accessing the documents. Prevent us, that is exactly what they were going to prevent us from accessing INEC. Every other thing that they are saying is a lie. They said they were going to prevent us from accessing INEC. Fair enough. We got there, so waited for a little while, made sure that we assessed the scenario, and decided that, you know what, if we carried a crowd there, it's just going to inflame tension. So myself, the party chairman, the woman leader, the youth leader, 4 senior officials, well recognized as party officials in Rivers State, decided to go. We got there right at the roundabout. First, they are barricading the entire roundabout, so you cannot even access it. We get there, the next minute they are standing in front of me and telling me that they are going to embarrass me, that they are not going to allow me to get in and I should get back. The next thing I know, I receive a blow at the back of my head, a slap, somebody is holding my shirt, throwing waters, and they began to throw stones, destroyed our vehicles, and injured me on the shoulder. I have a big lump on my shoulder from where a missile hit me. At that point, the police, my security, DSS and police decided that the place was too tense for me to continue, because I insisted that they either kill me there. If this is what democracy is about, I'm not living there. But it's their duty to ensure that I'm safe, and so my details physically restrained me and moved me away from there. And that's how we left the place. But, if it ended there, that would be good. We got back to our party office where I am now. And these people aided, and this is where I'm shocked. A few days ago, you would recall, lawyers that were working on our brief were arrested by men of the surveillance and intelligence unit of the Nigerian police force. We got back to the office, and these same police officers that arrested our lawyers were the ones giving cover and escorting PDP thugs that left the secretariat, left INEC, and followed us to our secretariat. They got here, began to shoot, and began to insist that they were going to kill me at my party secretariat, covered by these same policemen, led by one Inspector Moshalashi. What is going on?
Thank you for that, Mr. Tonye. I do empathize with you for the hurt that you have gone through, and I wish you a speedy recovery for any area where you have been hurt. Are there any confirmations of other casualties? I know you mentioned it's 4 senior officials that you moved with, but within your delegation, are there any who were injured as well? Do you have any numbers?
No, none from my delegation. None were injured. What we had were damaged vehicles, windscreens that were smashed, and then getting to the party office, they began to throw stones and all of that. But thankfully, nobody died, and that was our aim, to ensure that nobody would die. We could have mobilized people. We already knew, we had seen what was going on. And if we had mobilized a crowd to go there, then you can imagine what would have happened. But we refused to. Now, I'm told that they were there to demand their CTC. It's laughable, but let's admit that, let's assume that that's what they were there to do. Then if we were both there for the same objective, then what should have happened was that as soon as I got there, whoever was leading them would work with me, we would go inside the INEC office together, and we'll both demand for CTCs. Mine is my copy, theirs is their copy. I'm not interested in theirs, they're not interested in mine, but we should have gone in. What happened was a physical assault to prevent me from getting CTCs, and to prevent me. Now they're going to mobilize today, tomorrow, all the way till Friday. What does that tell you? By Friday, we are out of time for filing documents. By Friday, we have no CTC. By Friday, we will not be able to petition. What is PDP afraid of? What are they afraid of? Please allow us, it's our document. INEC is a public office. If the police gave PDP the permission to mount a barricade of INEC office and be violent about it, the police should be able to go and clear them. Because I intend to go back to INEC office and collect my documents today. By now, I expect that the police haven't seen what has happened, and knowing that PDP came under false pretense for a peaceful protest that ended up not turning peaceful, should clear the entire place. That's what I expect. I expect that police should have cleared the place. I don't know what's happening there, but I'm going to go back. And when I get back, I hope that the Nigerian police force would have done what is right to ensure that I can execute my duty as a leading politician in Rivers State to collect documents that belong to me, which are in the custody of INEC.
Thank you, Mr. Cole. Of course, it's not necessarily been an easy time for you. Not too long ago, you decried the arrest of your lawyers, and now this situation has played out. But in the event that you return and things are not as safe as, as your security detail would approve, what's your next move, considering how pressed you are for time for obtaining those, certified true copies? Like you rightly pointed out, Friday is the deadline for you. What would be your next course of action?
Then I will get on the next flight to Abuja. I'll go to INEC office in Abuja, and I want to see whether PDP Rivers is going to mobilize people to come to Abuja and block us at INEC office, national office in Abuja, from accessing it. But I will go and see the national chairman, because I tried to see the rec here. I tried to speak to him. I tried to call the head of legal. No, all their phones are switched off. I can't reach them. It's either ringing and they're not picking up, or you cannot reach any of them. So since INEC Rivers State has decided for whatever reason that they are not going to release the documents, then I will go to INEC National. Now, if INEC National Chairman and their head of legal there decide that they want to prevent us from accessing our CTCs, then they would have to explain to Nigeria what it is that they are actually afraid of. Because here is a party, PDP, that said that they are the most popular in Rivers State and that they won every constituency fairly, cleanly, out of the popular love that the Rivers State people have for them. If that is the case, why mobilize thugs? Why prevent us from getting CTCs? What will the CTC document show Nigerians that PDP is now afraid of? This is the question that I want answered.
Well, given the events that roll out in the state every election, and of course the course of action you'll be taking, if things do turn in your favor, is this state governable? How do you make it governable if these are the conditions that you would have to work with?
That's an excellent question. And I think it's the head, whoever is governor, dictates the type of temperament that we have. Unfortunately, we have a state that the governor is himself threatens to kill people, threatens to kill INEC officials, threatens that anybody who does not come out to vote for a particular party will be whipped, will be killed. His people went out, and that was the mantra. So if you at the head are willing to carry cutlasses and tell everybody that this cutlass is going to be used against your opponents, then you have already set the tone for what type of government you will have. So there is no surprise as to what we are seeing in terms of governance. I'm a different person, totally different. So my demeanor, my sense of governance, my sense of what the people need, my going around and discovering that people are tired of oppression and they want a peaceful place means that those people who follow me will change. And if there's one thing that I'm sure everybody has seen, is that APC Rivers State has not retaliated in any way with the level of violence that PDP has meted out. And it's not that violence is monopolized by one party. It's just that the leadership of APC today has said enough is enough. We need peace in Rivers State, we need development, we need investments, we need people to come back and talk about Rivers State positively. Not guns, not bottles, not stones, not violence, not thugs, not militants, not cultists. It must change. And so I bring that change, and that's what Rivers State is looking for.
Thank you, Mr. Cole. Now, when you do obtain those certified true copies that you're going to pursue, whether it be in River State or in Abuja, when you obtain them, if it shows that things did not necessarily go in your favor, or if it's proven that things didn't go in your favor, what would be your next course of action? What would be next for you?
So we'll go to the tribunal. The tribunal in itself then would determine whether or not whether we have a case to make. If we have presented a good case and we win, then we take over the government and we are the ones who are then sworn in as governor. The next thing to do is bring peace to the state. Believe me, we must end this tyranny, this violence, this whole thing. So my responsibility, once we win, is to begin to heal the state. We need healing, desperately.
Now, I know earlier you did mention the name of an inspector of police who you identified, and there's a number of other individuals who've been identified in the events that transpired today. Do you foresee any recourse or action being taken against them, or do you feel this alleged impunity will continue and these guys will get away with what we saw being instigated today?
Unfortunately, I don't think anything will happen to them. An inspector who arrested our lawyers, who refused to talk to me I approached him on Saturday, he refused to talk to me. He was there at the state CID, he transferred all our lawyers there. I called him, he refused to talk to me, and I told him then, I said, there's a tomorrow, you cannot continue just ignoring me and refusing to talk to me. Then he led people outside my office. I saw him there. I called him. I said, you again, come and speak to me. Come and tell me why you are here. Refused. He absolutely refused to talk to me. Walked away. So is there going to be recourse to him? I doubt. I don't think so. That's for the Inspector General of Police or the CP to decide. Now, he's accompanied by the local government chairman of Ikwere local government. This is not his local government. The chairman of Ikwere local government is leading thugs with the deputy speaker of the House of Assembly, and they're the ones who are leading thugs to my office, stoning and destroying our property. Now, is there going to be any recourse to them? I don't think so. We're writing our petition. The petition will be submitted to the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner of Police, is he going to investigate it? Will he arrest them? I have no idea. But do we expect justice from all of this, from this administration in Rivers State? No. They have proven that these people live above the law. They have impunity. They have immunity. They are granted immunity by Rivers State government. So I doubt if we will see anything happen to them.
Thank you again, Mr. Tonye Cole. Just wondering how content you are with how INEC has, accommodated your request for this certified true copies and every other, document that you might have requested from the electoral body. Are you content with the pace and the reception that you've received so far?
No, I'm not content at all. I'm extremely disappointed because I think by now, INEC, for a leading party like APC in Rivers State, who came second, regardless of how they wrote the results, we demanded to have these documents. And I think that INEC could have done better. They should have given us these documents since last week. And, no, I'm not happy at all. I don't know what is going on, but I think that the delay is raising tensions, and it's INEC's responsibility to douse tensions. So I expect that by today, if I cannot access INEC office, INEC Rec should have called me by now to tell me that, look, don't worry, we will send the documents to you. We have everything. We'll bring it to your office under police cover, under whatever, and we will bring these documents. If they know that I cannot access the office, they should make me feel comfortable that they are not doctoring those documents. I am worried about what INEC is preparing in there. I'm very worried, and the sooner I see it, the better. The rec does not, if I call him, gosh. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt you there. So just taking a look at some comments from social media, as of course, while this was happening, you did go live on your Instagram, and there were several comments that poured in. Some are saying that you did not turn the camera around for us to see the people who were allegedly stoning you. So there are comments coming in to say, is this not a case of propaganda? Because we saw you narrate what was happening on your Instagram live feed, but we didn't get to see your environment. What do you say to the people who are leaving these comments on your social media profile?
No problem. I'll ask them to also come into a war front and see whether you will think very clearly at that point in time. At the time that I then got the message to turn the camera around, I did. But we were under a very tense situation. Very, very tense situation. And I decided at that point that we needed to start recording this. So I did. And I saw the comment, turn the camera around, and I turned it around. But, anybody who is in the kind of situation that I am, if you are brave enough to come and do it, please come.
Well, Mr. Tonye Cole, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday. We're so sorry for what you experienced, but we thank you so much for joining us in spite of the situation, and we certainly wish you well. Thank you so much.